Welcome back to another episode of Break My Wallet or BMW. Okay, today I'm going to talk about a few things that you need to do, particularly on your E60, but in general, whichever car you buy. End of the day, you're buying a second-hand car, so it will come with problems, most likely. I mean, you're buying a car with 80 to 100,000 miles plus. Now, in particular, the E60, for example, there's a few things you want to change, but the first and main thing you want to do is the swirl flaps. Now, the swirl flaps do get crudted with oil and eventually do split and fall into the engine, and if that happens, it's pretty much game over. Now, if you do remove the swirl flaps, you will lose a little bit of torque low down, which can be put back in with a remap. It doesn't totally put it back, but it does help. I'll put a link up as to what the swirl flaps look like. Basically, they provide a richer fuel and air mixture at low down power. So there's a couple of things you can do. Either you remove them totally and be safe, like I've done, or you can replace them with a replacement manifold at cost, either a new one which will last a couple of years, or you can actually get an uprated swirl flap on those. I'm not sure how long they'll last, but they should last a good few years. And again, I'll put a link up, but in my personal opinion, just remove them totally, just to be safe. So the other things you want to do after you've purchased your car is do an oil change. Now, we can't trust the dealer, we can't trust the previous person, you can only take their word for it. I did. The previous owner told me that he'd serviced this car, and it wasn't. The air filter looked like it had been there for a good few years. So the first things you want to do is oil filter, do your diff oil, do your gearbox oil, drive belt. I also changed that as well. That's pretty important. And your air filter is another one that you can change. I know it's going to cost you, but it will keep your car running for a good few years without any real trouble. Also, I forgot to mention that a coolant flush is also worth doing as well. And then really your car should run pretty good, to be honest. I mean, I've not had much problems with this. It's running really well. I always do that. Doesn't matter if I buy a car for £500 or £1,000. I always do my own service, because taking the word for the previous owner or the dealer, some can be honest, some you don't know, do you? So it's always worth doing your own service. If you can do that with your own tools on your drive, then your quid's in, you're saving money on labour. So there's my 2 cents on after you've bought your car, and it's always worthwhile changing the things that I have mentioned. So a very quick video, I'm not going to keep you too long. Happy New Year, and I'll see you again.